Earth was a quiet planet. People lived their lives without knowing much about space. They worked, ate, slept, and dreamed. Most thought Earth was alone in the universe. They were wrong. Far away, in the center of the galaxy, sat the Council of Worlds. It was made up of many alien races. These races were old and powerful. They watched young planets to see if they were a danger or not. Earth was one of those planets. The Council had placed Earth in the harmless category. They believed humans were too new, too divided, too emotional. They had no real space travel, no real power. They fought each other. They did not know how to unite. So the Council did not worry about them, but that was about to change. In a lab deep under the Nevada desert, a group of scientists worked in silence. The leader was a man named Jack Carter. He was smart, serious, and quiet. Jack had been working on a new kind of energy. He called it pulse energy. It was clean, strong, and fast. If it worked, it would change everything. Beside him stood Maria Lane. She was bold, smart, and always asked questions. She had grown up in New Mexico and loved the stars. She believed humans were ready for space. She just needed proof. One night, the machine powered on. The pulse engine lit up with a loud hum. Lights danced across the lab. The team looked at each other. The energy readings were off the charts. "It works," Jack said in a calm voice, but inside he was shaking. Maria ran to the monitor. The engine was stable. It was real. The pulse engine was real. They tested it again, then again, each time. It worked. In just a few weeks, they built a small ship round the engine. It could go faster than anything Earth had ever made. But they did not know the engine gave off a signal the galaxy could hear. Out in deep space, a patrol ship picked up the signal. It belonged to the Zareth Empire, one of the strongest members of the Council. The captain of the patrol ship, Valric, stared at the readings. "This came from a level 0 world," he said. His second officer, a gray-scaled alien named Dreth, looked confused. "Earth, yes," Valric said. "They should not have this power." He sent a message to the Council. Within days, the Council called an emergency meeting. The leaders of 17 worlds came together. Their faces were strange. Some had scales, others fur, some had eyes like fire. But they were all worried. "How did humans build a pulse engine?" one asked. "They are not ready," said another. "They are dangerous," said a third. "They must be stopped." But not all agreed. An old alien named Kaleri from the water, world of Damar, raised her hand. "Maybe they are ready. Maybe we were wrong." The Council decided to send a small team to Earth. They would watch. They would decide if Earth should be stopped or welcomed. Back on Earth, Jack and Maria were preparing the ship for its first test flight. The world still did not know. The project was secret. Only a few in the government knew, and even they did not fully understand. On the morning of the launch, the sun was bright. The ship, named Horizon, stood tall in the desert. Jack looked at Maria. "Are we doing the right thing?" he asked. "We have to try," she said. "If we wait, we stay small. If we fly, we grow." They entered the ship. The team counted down. 10, 9, 8. Far above, a council ship appeared, cloaked from sight. Inside, Valric watched the humans. He expected a failure or a disaster, but the ship launched. The pulse engine lit up. The horizon disappeared into the sky. It crossed the edge of Earth's orbit in seconds. It moved faster than any council ship had ever seen from a young race. Valric's eyes widened. They did it, he said. Back on Earth, people saw something strange in the sky. A trail of blue light. The news spread fast. The world wanted to know what it was. When the horizon returned, Earth was no longer the same. The secret was out. Humans had built something new. Something powerful. Jack stood before a crowd of officials. Cameras rolled. The world was watching. This is not a weapon, he said. It is a bridge, a way to reach the stars. Maria stood. Beside him, we are not alone, and we are not afraid. In the shadows, the council team watched. Some were impressed. Some were afraid. Valric spoke into his recorder. Earth is not harmless. Not anymore. The council would have to decide. Welcome the humans, or stop them before they rose too high. But Earth had already taken its first step, and the galaxy was watching. Asterisk, the Galactic Council had underestimated Earth now. As they watched the reports of the Horizon's successful flight, panic began to spread among the council leaders. For centuries they had controlled young races, guiding or crushing them as needed. But humans were not acting as expected. Valric returned to the council chamber. His face was tight with concern as he addressed the group. Humans have built a ship with a pulse engine. They are moving faster than our predictions, he said. A council elder from the Pyron race slammed his clawed hand on the table. This cannot be allowed. If they spread beyond their system, they could disrupt the balance. Send a fleet, another elder demanded. They must submit or be destroyed. Kaleri, the elder who had spoken for caution earlier, raised her voice. They have shown skill and unity. Perhaps it is time to meet them in peace. But her words were drowned out by the angry voices of others. In the end, the council agreed to send a small fleet to Earth. Officially, it was a peace mission. In truth, they wanted to intimidate the humans into submission. Back on Earth, Jack Carter and Maria Lane were meeting with global leaders. The success of the Horizon had united many nations, but fear was also growing. Satellites had picked up strange readings from deep space. Something was coming. General Ethan Cross, a tall man with sharp eyes, entered the room. We have detected unidentified ships moving toward our solar system. They are large, faster than anything we've seen before, he said. Aliens, Maria whispered. Yes, Cross replied. And they are not coming for tea. We must prepare a defense. The room fell silent. For the first time, humanity faced a threat from beyond their world. Jack spoke up. We can fight back. We have their technology now. We just need time. Time is something we don't have, Cross said. The fleet will reach Earth in 10 days. The Horizon's pulse engine had been dismantled for study, but other scientists were working day and night to replicate it. Laura King, a young programmer, was leading a team to hack into the Horizon's data logs. If they could understand the alien signals it had picked up during its flight, they might find a weakness in the enemy. 9 days later, the alien fleet arrived. 12 ships appeared in orbit, each larger than Earth's biggest aircraft carriers. Their hulls shimmered with strange energy fields. The lead ship sent a message. It was broadcast on all frequencies. The voice was cold and deep. This is Commander Auric of the Zarath Empire. Humans of Earth, surrender your planet and technology. Resistance will mean destruction. World leaders argued. Some wanted to negotiate. Others demanded a show of strength. General Cross took command of Earth's United Defense Force. We cannot bow down, he told them. If we give up now, we will be slaves forever. Under his orders, fighter jets and missiles were deployed around the globe. Old rival nations shared intelligence. Space agencies worked together for the first time in history. The first attack came over the Atlantic Ocean. 3 alien cruisers descended, firing energy blasts that vaporized ships and buildings below. Earth's defenses answered with missiles, drones, and experimental railguns. The battle was brutal. Hundreds of human lives were lost in the first hour. But then, something unexpected happened. A modified nuclear missile hit one of the alien cruisers. The energy shield around it flickered, then failed. The ship exploded in a bright flash. Cheers broke out in command centers across Earth. For the first time, they had struck back on the alien flagship. Commander Auric scowled. These primitives are more dangerous than we thought. They must be crushed quickly. Laura King sent a message to General Cross. I have hacked into their communication network. I can disrupt their targeting systems. For a few minutes, but you need to strike hard during that window. Cross nodded. Do it. Laura's virus spread through the alien systems like fire. For 5 minutes, their ships faltered. Earth's forces launched everything they had. Another cruiser was destroyed. A third was badly damaged. But Earth's forces were also weakening. Their weapons were no match for alien tech. If the battle dragged on, humanity would lose. Jack and Maria worked in their lab, trying to finish a new weapon based on the pulse engine. It was risky, untested, and unstable. If we fail, the explosion could destroy half the planet, Jack warned. We don't have a choice, Maria replied. It's now or never. They called Cross. We can use the prototype as a bomb. It might take out their flagship. Cross agreed. A small team of pilots volunteered for the suicide mission. Captain Nathan Cole, a calm man with a steady voice, led them as the prototype ship lifted off. Humanity held its breath. Alien ships fired at it, but Earth's fighters drew their fire, sacrificing themselves to buy time. The prototype reached the alien flagship. Cole's voice came over the radio. For Earth, he said. Then the ship detonated. A wave of blue energy spread across the sky. The alien flagship vanished in a burst of light. The other ships broke formation. Some fled. Others were destroyed by Earth's remaining weapons. The battle was over. Against all odds, Earth had survived. On the Council world, panic spread. Reports of the defeat filled the airwaves. For the first time in centuries, a young race had beaten a Council fleet. Spoke to the Council. The smoke of battle still hung over Earth's skies. Cities were broken, oceans were scarred, but humanity stood alive. They had beaten a fleet from the stars. The world was no longer the same. Jack Carter walked through the ruins of the research lab in Nevada. Pieces of broken metal and glass crunched under his boots. Maria Lane followed close behind, holding a tablet with new data. The prototype worked, Maria said, but we lost Captain Cole and his team. Jack nodded. They saved the planet. We can't waste what they gave us. In the weeks after the battle, humanity changed faster than ever before. Nations that were once enemies shared secrets. Factories built weapons instead of cars. Scientists worked day and night to study alien technology. Laura King and her team cracked the Zareth energy core and began building new weapons. General Ethan Cross stood in the Global Command Center. Maps of Earth's orbit glowed on giant screens. The Zareth will not forgive us for this, Cross said. They will come back, and they will bring more ships. Jack stood beside him. We have to hit them first. If we wait, we'll be wiped out. Cross looked at him. You want to take the fight into space? Yes, Jack said. We have their tech now. We can build ships that can reach their fleet before they reach us. Maria stepped forward. It won't be easy, but we've done the impossible before. Cross thought for a moment. Then he nodded. Start building. We'll buy you time. In orbit, Earth's first starship yard was under construction. Engineers worked in zero gravity to build the first human warships. The largest ship was called the Resolute. It was a mix of human steel and alien energy cores. It could carry fighters, railguns, and pulse cannons. Months passed. The Resolute launched from orbit with a roar of blue energy. Captain Nathan Cole's brother, Aaron Cole, took command of the ship. On the edge of the solar system, scout drones detected a new Zareth fleet. It was 3 times larger than the first one. They're coming, Laura said, watching the data scroll across her screen. Cross ordered Earth's fleets to move into position. Satellites armed with railguns were activated. Missile platforms were raised from underground silos. But Jack had another plan. If we strike their fleet before it reaches Earth, we can slow them down. The Resolute can lead the attack. Cross agreed. We'll send a strike team to take out their supply ships. Without fuel and food, their fleet will weaken. Aaron Cole led the Resolute out of Earth's orbit. Fighters flew alongside it. Smaller ships carried troops and supplies. The fleet moved fast, heading for Jupiter, where the Zareth ships would pass. At Jupiter's edge, the human fleet waited in the shadow of its moons. The Zareth ships appeared on scanners like a storm of fire. Their ships were massive, glowing, with strange lights. Aaron spoke to his crew. We are Earth's shield. If we fail, they will burn our home. We don't fail. The first shots fired came from Earth's side. Fighters darted in and out of the enemy formation, launching torpedoes and lasers. Zareth cruisers answered with heavy plasma blasts. One of Earth's smaller ships was hit and exploded into a ball of fire. But the Resolute kept moving forward. Its pulse cannons fired blue beams that tore into an enemy frigate. Laura King's virus struck again. She had improved it to shut down enemy shields for 30 seconds. It gave Earth's fleet an opening. 2 enemy supply ships went up in flames, but the Zareth flagship was still strong. It turned its massive guns toward the Resolute and fired. The blast hit the human ship's side, ripping through its armor. Alarms blared across the bridge. Fire back, Aaron shouted. The Resolute's main cannon charged and released a massive pulse wave. It hit the Zareth flagship and cracked its hull. Pieces of alien metal spun off into space. Captain, their ships are pulling back, an officer said. Aaron shook his head. No, they're regrouping. This isn't over. On the Zareth flagship, Commander Auric slammed his fist against the controls. These humans are insects. How do they keep winning? His second officer Dreth spoke carefully. They adapt too fast. It is not natural, Auric growled. Call for reinforcements. The Council will send more fleets. Back on Earth, Jack and Maria watched the battle unfold from the command center. They slowed the enemy, Maria said, but it's not enough. If the Zareth send more ships, we can't hold them. Jack looked at the data on his screen. Then we need something bigger. Something they don't expect. General Cross turned to them. What do you have in mind? Jack took a deep breath. We build a jump drive. If we can reach their homeworld, we can strike where they are weakest. Maria's eyes widened. That's madness. We don't even know where their homeworld is. We'll find it, Jack said, and we'll take the fight to them. Cross nodded. Do it. Build the drive. Earth will stand with you. As the human fleet returned from Jupiter, the galaxy watched in shock. Earth was no longer a small, weak world. It was a rising power. The council argued over what to do. Some wanted to crush the humans with everything they had. Others feared a war that could destroy them all. And in the shadows, Kaleri whispered to her allies, "The humans are not to be feared. They are to be respected. They may be our only hope against what comes next." But no one listened. Far beyond the council's borders, something even darker watched the battles unfold. Something older than the council. Something waiting for its time to rise. And for the first time, it noticed Earth. The human fleet returned to Earth to loud cheers and flashing lights across cities. But there was no time to celebrate. The Zareth Empire had suffered a blow, but it was not defeated. Deep in the council chambers, new fleets were being prepared. More warships, more soldiers, and more firepower were gathering to crush the humans. On Earth, General Ethan Cross stood before the united leaders of the planet. The next battle will decide everything. If we lose, Earth will burn. If we win, we will earn our place in the galaxy. Jack Carter and Maria Lane stood at the edge of the room. Both were exhausted. Jack had not slept in days. Maria carried a tablet showing the progress of their latest project. "The jump drive is almost ready," Maria said, "but it's unstable. If we use it too soon, we risk tearing the ship apart." "We don't have time," Cross said. "We launch as soon as it is functional." Laura King joined them with new information. "We've tracked the signal paths of their fleets. I found the location of the Zareth homeworld." "Where is it?" Jack asked. 3 jumps away. If we attack there, we can end this war before it spreads to Earth." Cross nodded. "We'll strike their heart. But we need to survive the next wave first." In orbit, the Resolute and 2 new warships, the Valiant and the Pioneer, were being prepared for battle. Fighters and drones were loaded. Soldiers checked their weapons and armor. Captain Aaron Cole stood on the bridge of the Resolute. His eyes were hard and steady. "This is humanity's last stand," he said to his crew. "We hold the line, or we die trying." At the edge of the solar system, sensors detected movement. Dozens of enemy ships appeared, bigger and stronger than before. The new fleet stretched as far as the scanners could reach. "They're here," Laura said in a quiet voice. General Cross spoke into the comms. "All units, this is it. For your families, for your planet. Hold nothing back." The human fleet moved to intercept the enemy near Saturn. Earth's new weapons fired first. Massive railguns sent metal slugs ripping through space. Pulse cannons lit up the darkness with bright blue flashes. The Zareth ships answered with plasma beams. Explosions filled the void. Smaller human ships were torn apart in seconds, but they fought with everything they had. Drones swarmed over enemy cruisers, disabling their engines and weapons. On the Resolute, Aaron gave quick orders. "Bring us in close. Target their command ship." The human fleet's strategy was different this time. Instead of holding a defensive line, they attacked fast and hard. Like hunters striking a larger beast, Laura's virus spread again through the enemy systems. Shields flickered. Targeting systems failed. Human fighters dove in and launched torpedoes. One Zareth destroyer exploded in a ball of fire, then another, but humanity was paying a heavy price. The Valiant took a direct hit and broke apart. Pieces of its hull floated in space like falling stars. On Earth, Jack and Maria watched the battle from the command center. The jump drive's test was complete. The Pioneer had been fitted with the device. "It's ready," Maria said. "But once they jump, there's no coming back." "Send them," Cross ordered. The Pioneer's captain, Alina Ward, sent her farewell message. "This is for Earth. If we fail, fight on without us." The jump drive activated. A bright flash of light surrounded the Pioneer. Then it was gone. On the Resolute, Aaron watched as the Pioneer vanished. "There on there. Way," he said. "Now we hold the line." The battle raged for hours. Human ships darted between asteroids and moons, using hit-and-run tactics. Zareth cruisers tried to regroup, but were slowed by the loss of their supply ships. In deep space, the Pioneer emerged. Near the Zareth homeworld, Alina Ward stared at the planet below. It was massive, covered in glowing cities and black war factories. "Prepare the weapon," Alina ordered. Jack's prototype superweapon was loaded in the ship's core. It would destroy the enemy factories in one strike, but would also destroy the Pioneer. "Charge it up," Alina said. "We're not coming home anyway." Back in the solar system, the human fleet was breaking. The Pioneer's sacrifice needed to count. On the Zareth homeworld, alarms rang out. Their leaders watched in horror as a human ship appeared above their skies. "They found us," a Zareth elder sighed. The galaxy was no longer the same. Earth had risen from a small, ignored planet to a force that shook the Zareth Empire. But even as humanity celebrated its victory, something darker moved in the depths of space. Jack Carter and Maria Lane stood on the balcony of the Global Command Center. They watched workers repair ships in orbit. Pieces of metal floated like silver fish above Earth. "We hit their homeworld, but they are not finished," Jack said. "They will return." Maria nodded. "And the Council still hates us. They will send everything they have." Laura King walked over carrying new data. Her face was pale. "I found something," Laura said. "A signal buried deep in the Zareth network. It's not from them. It's older. Something else is coming." Jack took the tablet. The signal was faint, but growing stronger. "Could it be another empire?" Maria asked. "No," Laura replied. "This signal is not a message. It's a warning." General Ethan Cross called them to the war room. Leaders from all over the world appeared on screens. "We've received reports from our scouts," Cross said. "Something destroyed a Zareth outpost near the edge of the galaxy. The Zareth are pulling back from their war with us." "They're afraid," Jack said. "But of what?" Cross looked at him. "You're going to find out. The Resolute and a small team will investigate. If this threat is real, we need to know." Aaron Cole prepared the Resolute for another mission. Soldiers loaded supplies. Engineers checked weapons. Pilots climbed into fighters. "Why us?" Aaron asked Jack as they walked through the hangar. "Because you survived before," Jack said. "And because we trust you." Maria handed Aaron a small device. "This is a beacon," she explained. "If you activate it, we will come to you with every ship we have." Aaron nodded. "I hope you don't have to." The Resolute jumped into deep space. Stars stretched into lines as they moved faster than light. For days they traveled through empty darkness. Then they reached the outpost. It was gone. Nothing remained but shattered metal and frozen bodies. A strange energy hung in the air, like a shadow that would not leave. "Scan for survivors," Aaron ordered. "There are none," the officer replied. "Captain, something is coming." A shape appeared in the distance. It was massive, bigger than any Zareth ship. Its surface looked alive, covered in black tendrils that moved like snakes. Red lights glowed like eyes. "What is that?" a pilot asked. The shape moved fast, too fast. It reached the Resolute in seconds and fired a beam of dark energy. The human ship shook as alarms blared. "Shields failing. Return fire," Aaron shouted. Railguns and pulse cannons fired, but the weapons passed through the creature like it was smoke. The thing let out a sound that shook the crew to their bones. "It's not a ship," Laura said over the comms. "It's alive. Jump us out of here," Aaron ordered. The Resolute's engines powered up, but the creature's tendrils wrapped. Around the ship, lights flickered. Crew members fell to the floor as the ship shook violently. Aaron activated the beacon. Maria had given him, "Send the signal. We need help now." On Earth, alarms rang in the command center. Maria saw the beacon flashing on her screen. "They're in trouble," she said. "Launch every ship we have," Cross ordered. "This is it. If we fail, humanity dies." Earth's fleet jumped to Aaron's location. Hundreds of ships appeared in a wave of blue light. Fighters swarmed like angry bees. Warships fired every weapon at the creature. For a moment, the thing recoiled. One of its tendrils was burned away, but it grew back in seconds. It opened a massive mouth filled with red light and screamed. "It's too strong," Jack said. "We can't fight it like this." Maria grabbed his arm. "What if we overload the pulse core? A chain reaction could destroy it." Jack shook his head. "It would destroy our fleet too." "There's no other way," Maria said. "It's us or them." Cross heard their plan. He looked at the screens showing the creature tearing ships apart. "Do it," Cross said. For Earth, engineers across the fleet set the pulse cores to overload. One by one, ships powered up their cores until they glowed white-hot. Aaron sent a message to all crews. "It has been an honor to fight with you. For our families, for our world, we will not go quietly." The fleet closed in on the creature. As the first ship exploded, a wave of energy ripped through space. More ships detonated in a chain. The creature screamed as the light consumed it. On Earth, silence filled the command center. Then a message came through. It was Aaron's voice. "We did it. The creature is gone, but we lost almost everything." Cross closed his eyes. "You saved humanity." Jack and Maria looked at the stars. We survived the darkness," Jack said. "What comes next?" Maria took his hand. "Whatever it is, we will face it together." And far away, the galaxy watched. For the first time, they feared the small blue planet called Earth. Earth was quiet, but the peace felt thin and fragile. The skies were calm, yet every leader on the planet knew this was only a pause. Humanity had won battles that no one thought possible, but the cost was heavy. The fleet was gone, cities were broken, and millions mourned the ones who never came home. Jack Carter walked alone through the ruins of what had been a research base in Nevada. He had led Earth into a new age, but now he felt the weight of every choice. Maria Lane joined him, her face tired but determined. "The reports say the creature is gone," Maria said. "The scans show no trace of it." Jack looked up at the stars. If it was alive, others like it could still be out there. Maria nodded. We need to rebuild, and we need to prepare for what comes next. General Ethan Cross met with them later in the command center. Global leaders joined the meeting through screens that flickered with static. We won, but only barely, Cross said. Our fleets are gone. If another threat appears, Earth cannot defend itself. Laura King brought in new data. We recovered fragments of the creature. Its cells were still alive for hours after it was destroyed. It was more than just a biological weapon. It was part of something bigger. Something bigger? Jack asked. Laura nodded. These fragments carry encoded signals. They speak of a network. A hive spread across the galaxy. Maria's voice was quiet. This was only a scout. The room fell silent. Cross broke the silence. We can no longer wait for threats to come to us. We must expand beyond Earth. We will take our place among the stars and face whatever is waiting. Work began at once. Factories turned into shipyards. Scientists merged human technology with what they learned from alien wreckage. New warships were designed to be faster, stronger, and more deadly. Jack and Maria oversaw the first test flight of the Vanguard, Earth's largest ship. It stretched for miles, its silver hull shining under the sun. It carried hundreds of fighters and enough firepower to level a continent. Do you think this is enough? Maria asked. Jack shook his head. It has to be. We do not have another choice. As the Vanguard rose into orbit, alarms sounded across Earth. A new signal had been detected. It was faint, but growing stronger, and it was heading straight for the solar system. Another one, Laura said, her voice tight, and this one is bigger. Cross called every leader to a meeting. This is the moment, he said. If we do not stop it here, Earth will burn. Jack placed a hand on Maria's shoulder. We are going to finish this, for everyone we lost, and in the cold dark between stars, something ancient opened its eyes and began to move.